Rocky is a movie that is all about perseverance and never giving up. Have any of these lessons resonated with you in the real world about never giving up and persevering?
Of course, yes, I never give up. And, and many times I had opportunity to give up, but no, I don't.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Up and Adam Show. Guys, today I'm joined by a living legend. He's appeared in over 100 films, won several awards, and was even nominated for an Academy Award for the movie Back There, one of my all-time favorite movies. I'm very excited to welcome Mr. Burt Young. How are you, man?
Hello, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm swell.
To get started, I read that you were a professional boxer after you served in the Marine Corps, and I just wanted to say it's amazing how you would end up going on to acting in one of the greatest boxing movies of all time. Tell us how you got the role of Rocky.
Well, I was a fighting for amateur before going professional, and I had good friendships with Erwin Winkler. In fact, I bought his house. So we were close together, and I fell in love with Talia Shire. She was already committed to the part.
And actually, I was even reading, which is something that really was so cool to hear, that you fought Muhammad Ali for a charity match. I thought that was really interesting too. How was that whole experience, even just being friends with a guy like that?
He was wonderful. He was wonderful. He's just a pleasure in all ways. Very good, and we had a good time before and after the fight.
Yeah, he's one of the nicest. I heard he's one of the nicest guys, and he's a very, very religious person. I read about, and he was just loved by many. He was the greatest fighter to ever be around. He inspired so many people.
He was.
For the movie Rocky, which again I mentioned how it's such a big inspiration to me, that movie ended up winning 3 Academy Awards, and you were actually nominated as well for your performance as Paulie Pennino. What about that character resonated with you the most? What did you relate to most about that character?
Just life in general. I had to be pretty careful. We were all pretty serious and all in love with the material. And I was in love with the girl, Talia.
Yeah, and it's cool. She played your sister in that movie, and it was really the whole dynamic between you two, because your character with Adrian being kind of tough on her as your sister, and there's that very iconic scene when you come in and it's like Christmas time, and you come in with the bat and you start breaking everything. You get mad at her. I think that was a really intense scene. I was
almost crying what I had to do. I felt terrible.
It blew me and the audience away, because here you are, this guy who some people will look at it like, oh, Paulie's he's a bad guy, he's an asshole. But really what I looked at it was, he's a guy who has his personal struggles, right? He's a guy who suffers himself, and he just takes it out on the people he loves. But Paulie was a very loyal friend to Rocky, became a brother to him essentially, and was there for Adrian, always loved her, always. It's even evident in in Rocky 6, when you're talking with Rocky and you go, I miss my sister. You're all I have left. It's a character that is so well created. Did you have your own personal creative vision for the character too?
Yes, I did. And I took it.
When you were an actor starting out, when you first started, were there ever times when you were struggling and thought, wow, like this is gonna be tough, I don't know if I can do this? Did you just keep pushing through no matter what, even when you were younger?
I kept pushing. believed in myself pretty well. It was it was a good journey, a very good journey.
Mm,
I knew what I wanted when I wanted it,
yeah, exactly.
and I come from a tough side of the room, and this was a pleasure. It was an open door for me.
Kids nowadays, they're still watching this movie and learning from it. And does it ever amaze you to think that like this movie is just so timeless that like so many generations that go on, people are still watching this movie? Does that ever just blow your mind?
No, I'm not surprised. He wrote beautifully,
Mhm.
and I took advantage of it.
Another one of my favorite scenes, I mentioned obviously a couple, the one with the bat, obviously, but there's another one, and I kind of touched upon it earlier about when in Rocky Balboa, Rocky Six, when you're in the back. It's actually a deleted scene. I'm surprised it never made it into the final cut. But it's when you're again breaking down, you sing "Miss Your Sister," and then when you walk away, you tell Rocky, you go, "You're gonna do all right, Rock," and he goes, "How do you know that?" And he goes, and then you go, "Stuff in the basement." I thought that was really
So
interesting.
it, yes, we had some errors with the cutting, that shouldn't have been left out. You're right.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes because it just goes back to your character, how he was always a good person, even though I think people relate to Paulie the most out of anybody too, just because of that reason of, he's been kind of pushed around a bit, but he's always been a loyal person and always stood by Rocky through the hardest times. There's so many reasons. There's another one in Rocky 3 when you go in with Thunder Lips and you get the chair, you smash it over him, and then you're like, and then
Yeah.
he just throws me. That was there's so it makes you go like, yeah, Paul, he always stood up for Rocky. That's amazing. I think that's how you like, even just speaking with you now, you're such a nice gentleman. I feel like that's how you really are in real life. You're a good friend, probably, and you're just a kind, hearted person. We need more people like that in this world that inspire the youth like myself. And it's something that's important. I think many people don't have inspirations like that.
Well, they don't know they have it. That's the only problem. But they have all the quality.
Yeah,
You just don't know. If they open the heart, we had stuff.
exactly. And you've acted alongside some of the greatest actors in the world, like I mentioned. Just to name some names: Jack Nicholson, obviously Sylvester Stallone, James Caan, who obviously we sadly lost, James Gandolfini for The Sopranos, which again, Bobby Bacala Sr., great performance, loved it. Even just working with a guy like James Gandolfini for The Sopranos, how was it working alongside someone like that? Someone who, as Tony Soprano, is very feared as a mobster, but apparently James Gandolfini was such a sweetheart and nothing like the character too. Was it an honor working with someone like that as well, just to be around him?
Yes, it was. All the fellas that hung around were pretty close, and I enjoyed them as they me. I hope. But he, Jimmy Carr was sort of my entry to this business. He was my early friend, and I love him now. And he was an early friend, and his family, they're wonderful people.
Yeah.
His daddy was a tough butcher, and he was great.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
He,
cool.
that Papa will make fun of all of us. He was very nice.
Yeah, he'll tease you guys and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. By the way, what are you drinking? What kind of drink is that? It looks really good. What were you drinking there?
Well, unfortunately, it's water.
Oh, but I see a nice lime though. Yeah, at least you like lime. I'm a big lime guy.
Ice in it. and a little boop boop.
Do you and the Sly still hang out nowadays? And what do you guys do when you guys hang out?
Unfortunately, not much. We're both pretty boring.
No, you're not boring. Come on. It's okay. But you guys probably have some really good memories together too. What were some things did you guys do? Like, I mean, even back in the day, what were some things did you guys like to do together?
Uh, what can I say? We're ham bones, both of us. We're hammies. We're happy with life in general.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, you see, you throw Talia Shire in the mix. She's lovely. We all love her,
Yeah.
and especially me.
That's great. And before we end off the show today, what is a message you want to give to all of your fans right now? Just what is something you want to share with them as a piece of advice for acting, for life, for anything? What is something you want to tell them?
I want to tell them, do good, it comes out good. Uh, I got, I got my son-in-law here. He's a champ. He's wonderful. He happened to marry my daughter, and I have a kid, a little boy, is a roughneck. He's wonderful. Everything is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, you should be very proud because you've done some great things. Clearly, you've raised a great family. You're you're an inspiration to everybody. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time today to speak with me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No problem. And hope to stay in touch.
I will, and I thank you for the interview.
No problem. Thanks, Bert. I appreciate it. Hope to stay in touch, man.
Thank you.